Oh. Hi. Okay. Theoretically, we are now on. We will see if anybody shows up. I guarantee nothing. I am now on all the things here. I am on Facebook. I am on YouTube. I am on Twitch. And I am on Streamlabs, OBS. Well, now just known as Streamlabs because OBS said stop that. So let me tell you what happened here. It's been a while. I know it's been a while. It's been like the last live stream show was in May when I was at Carpe Diem Comics, proud sponsor, without paying me any money, of Tobias the Adequate and the TROUBADORK Show, and the official emotional support comic shop of the TROUBADORK Show. That was back in late May, and June happened, and June happened real hard and real fast, and a lot of noise and a lot of mayhem. And as such, hey Ruth, how are you? Yay! I officially have one person watching now. So when everything went and June happened, and there was a lot of June happening, as you all know, and as such, well, some stuff went down, and we have a very odd and kind of, yay, not on fire. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that, Ruth. In a moment, it should say Ruth should actually, yes, not on fire here. Good. See, Ruth is not on fire. If you are not on fire and are watching the show, please let me know. It's hard to tell. This thing is supposed to tell me how many people are watching, but honestly, I can't tell anymore. It's very random and weird. But I am going to be playing some music and catching you up on a few things, and we'll see how it goes, yeah? Yeah. Seems like a reasonable thing to do. We have had, I will say this, for where we are, which is in San Antonio, Texas, the amateur munitions experts didn't start setting things on fire and blowing them up until about 9 p.m. last night, which is surprising, because usually they would get the jump on it and just go straight in to blowing crap up the moment they got off work. But some restraint was demonstrated, which is just startling as heck to me. We appreciated it. Our cats appreciated it a great deal. If you have critters, you know exactly what that's like. So I will start, actually, with a relatively brand new song. A song I have not, in fact, performed in front of other people, which is unusual, but, you know, it's a song that I just wrote a little while ago. I did post a link to it and a video. I think I did a video of it, as a matter of fact, but this will be like the closest thing to live we're going to get until such time as we have live human beings for me to perform to. This is me rearranging things on the screen just a tad so I can see everything. You are a people. Of course you're a people. You qualify as a people. That's one of the things I want to make sure everyone knows, is that if you're watching this, you are a people, and you qualify as being, you know, worthy and worthwhile and worth my efforts and worth the efforts of others and worth your own efforts. And there's a lot of people out there right now that are going to be very angry and, like, you know, pushy about things and telling you what you can and can't do, and treating people like things. And Terry Pratchett put it best. Don't treat people like things. Treat people like people. So, the song, oh yeah, the song. We're gonna wander back and forth a lot, I fear. I have this song that I wrote called it's Songs of the Bard, and that seems to be my closing song. And then I realized I really didn't have an opening song for the shows that I do at fairs and cons and festivals and that sort of thing. And so I sat down to purpose build a song, which is not something I do often. Most of the time when I write a song, it's because there is a song. I assure you there's a song. I assure you Facebook is dealing with the usual 2-minute delay, and that's okay. Facebook is weird that way. But so I wrote a song because now that I don't have the magic show, I don't have, the usual 10 minutes of falderall and nonsense that you usually see when I'm hyping my magic show. And so I wrote a song. I think I remember how to do this here. It's a bouncy song. I'm trying to write bouncy songs because the bouncy songs seem to be the ones that people like the most. You've come here to this festival, I'm about to start my show. So come on in, pull up a bench, you got nowhere else to go. Don't actually pull up the benches, they're heavy. Sit down on them instead, it's easier. So settle in, get comfortable, and I'll begin to play. And if you do not do so, I gotta do this anyway. I'm on the schedule. We have an agreement with the management. I'd like to have some folks to hear, and that would be your part. Oh, look, an audience. That's you. I guess I better start. You can see it's the bouncy opening song. I am your humble troubadour, come here to entertain. And if it gets a little weird, I hope you won't complain. I mean, look where you are. You knew the job was dangerous when you got here. I've come to fill this little stage with music, tales, and jokes. It's geeky, nerdy, goofy music for geeky, nerdy folks. Look where you are. You're pre-qualified. I've got just 20 minutes here to exercise my art. Oh, look, an audience. That's you. I guess I better start. In this case, we actually have an hour. But most of my shows are 30 minutes, you see. Now this here show's a special one. It's special cause you're here. There are a couple guidelines that I hope are not unclear. Well, they're not so much rules as suggestions. I'll start the song, you can sing along and laugh and clap and play. Just come and lose your dignity, we'll get this underway. Keen observers will note we've actually been about 5 to 15 minutes into the show by now. I've got a bunch of stuff to play, I hope it warms your heart. Oh, look, an audience. That's you. I guess we better start. Now, at this point, if I'm having a live crowd, I'll actually ask them to sing Oh, Look, an Audience with me, because that will pull everyone together and cause the people wandering by, which is usually the case in a festival, to stop and try to figure out what's going on. In short, a great big scam. You can sing along at home if you like, and I know even though nobody else will know that you've sung along, I will, and that counts. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, an audience. That's you. I guess we better start. And that is the first song, the opener song. I've just written a new opening song. I kind of miss the magic show as well. I have come to the conclusion that there's a lot of comedy magic at Renaissance festivals nowadays. There's a surprising number of them. You can't throw a rock without you hit some guy doing funny magic. And I've tried. And they want me to stop throwing rocks. Yes, that's you. So that's the opening song, and I kind of like it. I hope to break this in at some of the conventions I've pitched to. I have a tentative, but not committed to, thing for doing Alamo City Furry Invasion. I am definitely doing Steampunk November. I might be doing a couple of other conventions here in the San Antonio area, but I can bring down the stage. Yes, Ruth. Oh, you know something? It has been a while. Maybe I should tell the stage falling on me story, which is a true thing that actually did happen to me, and it's a thing. I'll tell that story in a little bit. That'll be fun. That way, folks who catch up with me here as we are now entering the 10th minute, almost the 10th minute of this live stream, and I just hope that people who are hang out and have fun with it. Yeah, the fair almost killed me. Yeah, Ruth, yeah, you were there. You were one of the people. That was. I will recount the story here, because it's one of those weird things you can't make up. But yeah, it's very true, and we learned very many valuable lessons. Like, don't take an 8-foot tall by 16-foot wide plywood and 2x4 back wall and attach it to the stage with 4 nails. That was important to learn. That was very valuable. A lot of people learned a valuable lesson that day. And I received a certificate from the festival management designating me the man fair cannot kill. P.S. We'll get you next time. True story. Very good, yeah. You know, it's been a little, it's different out here in Texas. The majority of the festivals that I work in Texas, if they are outdoor festivals, they actually have a permanent site. I did do Ren Fair Bandera County, which is a brand new pop-up event, and there's a couple of other events like that out in this general area. Many more up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is part of why I really want that bullet train thing to work out between Dallas and Houston, because if there's a bullet train between Dallas and Houston, then there's very likely going to be a bullet train between either San Antonio and Houston or Dallas and San Antonio, eventually making the golden triangle of Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and back up to Dallas, going through Austin on the way. And that would be a marvelous thing for me, because I really don't like driving 4 hours to get to some of these places. I am 4 hours from all the big fairs. Now, how about I do the most patriotic song that I have in my repertoire? This is one of those. This is a weird song that about 2 years ago I posted to the Facebook page and said, "Hey, if you give me a song title, I will write songs for the top 3 songs that got the most responses." And there were 3 song titles that did. One was "God Damn It, Laguerre," which I did write. I'm not 100% thrilled with it, so I'm still kind of working on it. But "God Damn It, Laguerre" is one of the... There are many that are weird. "God Damn It, Laguerre" is one of the reactions I cherish. This year, 2022, I am not keeping a count, although it does seem to be around 14, give or take a couple. The responses to things that I post or say or what have you. I feel that being cursed is one of the highest forms of compliment you can get from my peer group. Which is true. Because it motivates people. It breaks the cycle of mechanical thinking, and then you just have to face sheer blank system error. The second one was "Relative Dysfunction," which is a song that I actually finished writing for Jana, who plays Queen Margaret and will be playing a different role. I can't say what, because I'm not authorized, but she has played Queen Margaret of Scotland and the Isles for many years at a number of fairs and festivals, and people have often come up to her and said, you know, my great something or other great is related and somehow, and it's like, well, that's fantastic. But no, you can't march in the parade with us. So I wrote "Relative Dysfunction," and she loved that. And this is the third song. It was title given to me, "Grandpa's Can of War-Ration Spam." How the heck do you write a song like that? Song for that? And I did. I wrote a song for it. And this song, if there was any justice in the world, this would be a full Busby Berkeley showpiece with dancing girls and a full band, and you know, "Grandpa's Can of War-Ration Spam." When Grandpa died, there's just one thing he set aside, to give to me his favorite daughter's boy. And inside that box, wrapped securely in old socks, he found the can of Spam that was his pride and joy. Yes, Grandpa's can of War-Ration Spam kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. What Grandpa bequeathed was some kind of mystery meat. The secret to the contents damn near did me in. I swore I would not break nor get so desperate I'd partake of that there freaky food that's stuffed inside that tin. Yes, Grandpa's can of War-Ration spam kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. Sometimes now things got rough, I tell you, times were pretty tough. The kind of troubles that would kill a lesser man. But like my grandpa had, I knew that things were not so bad, and I'd be darned if I would open up that can. Yes, Grandpa's can of War-Ration spam kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. Now, fellas, we're not sure the kind of food that can procures. It could be pork or chicken, beef, or even cod. And underneath that tin, no one knows what is trapped within, and we're afraid we might just free an elder god. Don't open Grandpa's can of War-Ration spam kept my grandpa going through the war. And if hunger overtook, he'd just give that can a look to remind him of what he was fighting for. Yeah, if you've never heard one of my Troubadour shows and you came in on that tune, you might be concerned. You might be terrified. They'll make vegan spam. Yes. Yes, indeed. Vegan, that does seem a bit odd, vegan spam. I am not sure what they would... What do you feed a vegan spam creature? What do you make vegan spam out of? I mean, the obvious answer is vegans, but that's probably not the right answer. My wife, who works for a major food distribution company, has informed me that vegan spam is made from a combination of soy and chickpea product. You can tell when it starts moving away from being food when they put the word product in it. Which is why we have non-dairy cheese food product. Made from real vegans. Mushroom and rice as well. I'm so glad y'all chose to hang out with me here. Now, I know there's some people who are going to watch this after the broadcast because I am really big in syndication. People will check this stuff out either on the book face or on the other things, and we'll see these things. And it is a substitute for live performance in front of live human beings. And that what you just heard is my wife Amy calling to our cat Delilah, who's downstairs, and she's calling from the foot of the stairs to us because she is a lovely cat and also a emotionally needy cat and also an incredible manipulator. Because what she wants us to do is to come downstairs and see which one of the little murder muffin catnip-filled toys she's currently chewing on, because she's actually making that noise with her mouth full of toy. And how cats do that is completely beyond me. But anyway, the next song that I want to do, a cat basically. She's a cat. She's a big fluffy cat. If we're lucky, she'll come in here. And then I will pick her up and show her to the world, and my viewership will immediately skyrocket, because the moment you put a cat on video, everybody wants to see the cat. It is true. It is true. Oh, this is cool. I'm so glad y'all decided to hang out with me early-ish, because it means that I actually can talk to people because one of the things I love about the shows that I do when I'm with live is interacting with the audience. I had my first couple of there's no crowd here, but I'm actually contractually obligated to perform shows at Sherwood this past May. I think we have a cat and we have a wife. Yes. Now, the one in the red is Amy, and the one in the fur, where she's on this side, is Delilah Kitty. Hello, Delilah Kitty. Hey. Oh, come here, baby girl.
She had a pink poof ball.
She had a pink poof ball. Okay. This is my Delilah Kitty. Hi. Yes. If you look out there, the world will say that you are adorable and gorgeous. Now, you may not actually be able to tell. Yes, yes, she wants down, though? She wants down. Okay. And there we go. Yes. Unlike the rest of us, unlike me, everyone else's family would really prefer not to be on camera because I'm the distraction. Oh, is it stop? And we have Domino.
Yes.
Domino Chaos Mayhem Laguerre. That's her actual name. 2 cats. Yes, Ruth says hi. Ruth from California.
Yay, hi.
Wow. Blam. I think our chatbot just had a cardiac event. Okay, this is Domino, and she is named Domino because of the patch over her eye. And she is Asian long hair, and she is 87% leg and 3% chaos and mayhem. And then 87% more chaos and mayhem. And if I hold her like this, she'll just lie here inert. High five. High five, other foot. High five. See, they love you. They think you're gorgeous. You look up here. Look up here. Look at the things. Don't do that to my face, Dad. Okay. I'll put you down.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Don't do that to my face. That was a kitty break. We had cats. Yay! My viewership went down. Okay, so I can't tell. That thing says I have 3 viewers. And frankly, that's 3 more viewers than I was expecting. So then she is your cat. Yes. Let me see. I do have a Ashley's just pinged me on Messenger asking me if I don't have a show, and I do. I'm just not sure where it's showing up on the book face. We are now going to have our technical thingy-mingahanga. Thingy-mingahanga? Mingahanga. Show is happening. Oh. If I knew what I was doing with my show stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's on my personal site. So yeah, that's the other thing. It's I think that Ashley is looking for my show on my Tobias the Adequate feed, and it's right now happening on my personal site, my personal feed. Life is weird. Life is confusing. Yep, there we go. That's it. Everything will be okay. And so just kind of chaos and mayhem. Because see, what happened? It's been long enough that I have I went to go and run the show. You got to it through. Okay. Well, it's actually facebook.com/theadequate because nobody else had it. There you are. All right, so it is showing. Great. I don't even know anymore. I'm just confused. But you found me, and that's the important part. Oh, no, it is Tobias. Oh, is it not the Tobias page? Oh, okay. Let me, you have given me a link. I can take that link, maybe, and give it to Ashley. There we go. There we go. There we go. That'll help. It's also confusing. So I went through and I tried starting the feed, and it said there's a problem with the form. It's like, oh great, because I've been on I had been told that I was in Facebook's naughty list because I made a couple of comments that were comedically slapstick, and they didn't like that, and they said, therefore we are going to downgrade your comments, and you will only be a person who can see this feed and for 28 days, and because the most important thing here is to make sure that that you something something algorithm something something something. However, I thought it was Facebook that was giving me grief. So instead of signing into Facebook, I signed into YouTube to run this from Streamlabs. And thankfully, Streamlabs remembered all my settings, and it still didn't work, and it still didn't work. And it turns out that it was actually the Twitch form that was messed up and confusing. Because the Twitch form is the one that said, what category is this? I cannot understand, and if you do not give me a category, I will tell you that everything is broken and you are useless. So it took me about 7 times to try to get that put together. Just honestly, looks like there's a song that I wrote. The next song I'm going to do, because there are songs in this show, is one that I wrote this April, really, yeah. In April, I wrote it at Sherwood, and I didn't intend to write a song, but I just kind of did. And it's this one right here. It's called Useless Magic Sword. And it's such a good song, actually, that one of the other musicians, who is much more talented and does a lot of conventions, said it was a really cool song, and I gave him permission to do it. So if you hear somebody else sing this song, it's probably because I told him it was okay. It's another song that starts in D. I have a few songs that start in D, but most of them start in G and in F. C and F for some reason. Oh, we're off! We're gonna sing now. When I was just a lad, 'twas for adventure I did yearn. I went a-questing for the fame and glory I could earn. One night as I was rifling an abandoned wyvern's hoard, 'twas then that I discovered me a useless magic sword. It's true. Useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's a useless magic sword. Ah! The sword, it was not very sharp, nor had a magic glow. I didn't know what it could do, nor where that it could go. So I took me to a scholar, the very best I could afford. He looked at it and said, my son, it's a useless magic sword. I knew that. Useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's a useless magic sword. Ah! Well, what do you do with a thing like that? I had an idea. I went to fight a dragon because that's just what heroes do. I thought I'd build my legend on the lizard that I slew. Dragon cocked his head up to one side. With laughter he then roared. It's embarrassing to be here with this useless magic sword. It says +0 on the hilt. Useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's a useless magic sword. Ah! I've tried so hard to rid me of this stupid metal stick. I've tried the classic methods, but they did not do the trick. Just stuff the sword into a stone, I mightily did try. The stupid thing bounced off the hill, got me right in the eye. How? It's +1 against myself? Useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's a useless magic sword. Ah! I was feeling mighty desperate, rash action I did take. I got a boat and rode to meet the lady in the lake. I dropped it in the water, but she did not speak a word. She threw it back, she didn't want my useless magic sword. Now those two lines should rhyme, and they look like they should rhyme on paper, but they don't, and that irritates me. Useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's a useless magic sword. Ah! The years have passed, I've gotten old, I've never found my fame, and this stupid hunk of metal doesn't even have a name. So I shoved it straight into the floor, wedged in between the boards. I used it as a coat rack, now my useless magic sword. Huh. So it does have a purpose. I like happy endings, don't you? Useless magic sword, it's my useless magic sword. I'm questing for adventure with my useless magic sword. A useless magic sword, it's a useless magic sword. It did not come with instructions, it's my useless magic sword. Ah! Olay. Welcome to my job. Yes. Yeah, that is, I like that song a lot. And for verisimilitude, something I actually did get in my eye as I was singing that part about shoving a sword into the stone. And I realized that I would have a perfect excuse to blink this eye repeatedly to try to get whatever it was that was wedged in there out. So see, it's because I am a professional. Right. Yeah. Oh, so yes, songs, music, that sort of thing. I am in the process of writing more stuff. It's been a little different. The past few months have been full of things to make your brain stop working. Y'all know what I'm talking about, because if you weren't friends of mine, y'all know what I'm talking about, because you also have access to social media, which will continually bombard you with the awfulness over and over and over again until it causes you to collapse into a fit of despair, but continue to scroll because you want that little bit of serotonin that comes through from making a positive connection with somebody else, even if it's just to express your outrage. Social media. Right on. So, not that I have opinions about it or anything, but I have opinions about everything. I'm in my 50s now. I'm very close to being 55 years old. That'll happen on Wednesday. I will not be doing a show on Wednesday because I will be spending Wednesday raiding a lot of bookstores. Seems like a good way to go about my birthday, I think. Taking the day off, and we're gonna go up to Round Rock and hit a few stores. We're gonna hit Duluth Trading Company, which is like Disneyland for people that like work clothing. Not quite as snooty and fussy as Carhartt or whatever it is. And then we're going to hit half-price books and Barnes & Noble and any other bookstores that we come into contact with and have some good meals and make our way gradually back down here to San Antonio. And then I'll go to work on Thursday, looking and feeling my best. Hey, it's a plan. For I shall be 55 years old, which is honestly about 52 years longer than I have any right to have lived. So, we're good there. Oh, my goodness me. So, the next song. Kay loves this song. And I hope Kay is having a great 4th of July wherever he is. Kay actually pointed me to this song. And this is an old vaudeville song that I first ran into, which is fantastic, through the Muppets. Because the Muppets did a version of this song. That's why I knew the song before Kay introduced it to me. Now, here's something that's interesting about that. Because I know this song from the Muppets, I only know how to sing this song the way Jim Henson sang this song on the Muppets. So, I'm not actually doing a Kermit the Frog impression, but Kermit the Frog sounds a lot like Jim Henson's talking voice. And if you ever go back and look at any old video clips of Jim Henson talking, you can tell that Kermit the Frog is basically Jim Henson just turning it up just a little bit. So when he did this song on The Muppet Show, which you can find if you look up to space Morrow, Morrow, Muppets, because all of the Muppet shows are on YouTube and have been in perpetuity. And if you have never watched the original Muppet Show, I would strongly recommend that it's a good thing is that you do so, because I grew up with that stuff on syndicated TV and the UHF channels, and it definitely had some effect on my sense of comedy. Maybe you've noticed. But this is an old vaudeville song, and it is now well and truly out of copyright, which is great news for me. There we go. I started on the journey about a year ago to a little town called Morrow in the state of Ohio. I've never been much of a traveler, and I really didn't know that Morrow was the hardest place I'd ever try to go. So I went down to the station for my ticket and applied for tips regarding Morrow, not expecting to be guide. Says, "Hi, my friend, I'd like to go tomorrow and return no later than tomorrow, for I haven't time to burn." Says he to me, "Now let me see if I have heard you right. You'd like to go tomorrow and return tomorrow night. You should have gone tomorrow yesterday and back today, for the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. If you had gone tomorrow yesterday, now don't you see, you could have gone tomorrow and returned today at 3. For the train today tomorrow, if the schedule is right, today it goes tomorrow and returns tomorrow night." Says I, my friend, Says I, my friend, it seems to me you're talking through your hat. There is a town named Morrow on the line, now tell me that. There is, says he, but take from me a quiet little tip. To go from here tomorrow is a 14-hour trip. The train today tomorrow leaves today at 8:05. At 10:30 tomorrow is the time it will arrive. So if from here tomorrow is a 14-hour jump, then you go today tomorrow and get back today, you chump. Says I'd like to go tomorrow, but can I go today and get tomorrow by tonight if there is no delay? Well, says he to me, and I got nothing more to say. Can't get anywhere tomorrow and get back again today. Says I says you know it all, but kindly let me say, how can I get tomorrow if I leave this town today? Says you cannot go tomorrow anymore today, because the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. I was so disappointed, I was mad enough to swear. The train had gone tomorrow and had left me standing there. The man was right in telling me I was a howling jay. I could not go tomorrow, so I guess in town I'll stay. And as Frank Oz says at the end of that, I don't get it. It's one of my favorite Muppet Show songs. There are so many. I actually got to hear the Ying Tong song on the Muppet Show. The Ying Tong song, by the way, is a song that hit the top of the... I think it actually won Eurovision's song competition way back when, and it was written by the members of The Goon Show. Peter Sellers, Spike Milligan, and Harry Seacombe. These three gentlemen are some of my personal saints. If you have never had the opportunity to hear a Goon Show radio program, I would heartily encourage you to go look them up. for they are silly, and they are glorious, and they are just dumb, and giddy, and wacky, and nut burgers, and just marvelous things. And I think we all need some of that, especially right now. I think we can all do with a lot more of that in our world right now, because we have a lot of anger and outrage, and a lot of very justifiable anger and outrage, I might add. But the most important thing is to not give in to giving up, not give in to despair. Make the bad guys look silly. Make fun of them. The other day, there was an article on the Patriot Front, which is apparently a bunch of unemployed 20-somethings with money that leave their mom's basements to go put on masks and khaki slacks and polo shirts and ball caps and LARPing shields and go out and march on people. And often get the crap. They don't do that in Philadelphia anymore because Philly pretty much kicked the crap, chased them, literally, physically chased them away. And in Ohio, they got busted for piling into a U-Haul, all of them. And in Boston, somebody found where they parked because they had actually taken the T-line, I think it was. And somebody had found where they parked on the other side of the T-line and has recorded all of their license plates. And someone's going to be in for a bit of a shock in a few days, I think. But when I saw the Patriot Front, my brain, which was not firing on all cylinders, read that as the Potato Front, and that's how I see them today. So anytime I see that, I always say the Potato Front. Yes, Giddy. Giddy is the patron saint of FAFO. You know what that means. F around and F out. Find out. And so I've been thinking, one of the things we can do, and it's also really jumping weirdly to Mel Brooks, another one of my patron saints. He's still alive, doesn't matter, it's my religion. He says he makes fun of Hitler as much as he does because that's how he can get his revenge. By making Hitler look silly. So if we can make these doofballs who think somehow that they're going to intimidate and scare us into looking like idiots, I'm all for it. I still do firmly believe that with a little bit of planning, I know that you can get powdered veterinary lubricant, and it's pretty easy to get big barrels and fill them with water. And if you know where these guys are going to show up, and you just happen to dump one of these barrels of slightly thinned out lube all over where they're going to march, it would be glorious, wouldn't it? It would be glorious. It would be fantastic. It would be viral immediately. Because we will fight fire with marshmallows. And we will fight fear with slapstick. You can always fight fear with slapstick. Milkshakes are more portable than pies. Pies have a better visceral effect, but a milkshake is easier to carry around. You can carry like a dozen milkshakes and have them pretty easy to deploy. Pies, you got to bring a cart. Mind you, if you just happen to show up to one of these things with a pie cart full of pies, and whatever's left over afterwards, it's a snack. So, moving directly into the next song that I'm going to do, which... Yes, Ashley. It's that one. Because we all have these thoughts, these feelings, and we need a way to express them, yeah? So now, happy children, I will sing a song, a happy little tune about gambling, drunkenness, and defenestration, yeah? A song that lets me speak in this insufferable Bavarian accent. Seriously, I hear myself saying like this. I want to punch myself in the face. I was gambling in Helsinki, down upon my luck. Oh, a lot was these big Flemish guys. I felt that I was stuck. I thought I was a goner, surrounded by mine foes. Then I remembered Hasselhoff, and he solved all mine woes. For he invented the Hasselhoff maneuver, which goes like this. just grabs him by the crotch, once and throws him out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blow. Just grabs him by the crotch, once and throws him out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. Well, I made my way out of there and I fled down to the bar. I have to apologize. I am positively giddy with the mental image of hurling certain people out of windows. I am seeing a specialist, yeah. Well, I made my way out of there and I fled down to the bar. I ordered me another round, 2 or 15 jars. Some massive Swedish mercenary spoke ill of my ma. I did not think I could escape this peril quite unscarred. Once that I remembered, I knew the Hasselhoff maneuver, which I had in the informative booklet in my back pocket. I pulled out the booklet, found the bookmark, always use the bookmark, read very carefully, put it back in. All right, I knew exactly what I needed to do. So I grabbed him by the crotch, and I threw him out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blow. Just grabs him by the crotch, and then throws him out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. I had gathered quite a crowd by the great feat I did perform. I ordered me another round, for I had grown quite warm. Time to pay the bill came, please, for credit for all scorned, my mouth doesn't work. And so I tried to stand my ground, my fate was quite forewarned. But it came to pass in this very tavern in Helsinki, a temporarily between violent conflicts, Oscar Hasselhoff, German master of defense, had been hired as a part-time bouncer. I was thrilled. Good Abend, Master Hasselhoff, the gates, would you sign mine booklet? It took a while for us to find a crayon, but then he signed his name very carefully. He did not misspell it or anything. Then he grabbed me by the crotch, and he threw me out the window. Well, that was darned effective, I thought, as I was passing through. He grabbed me by the crotch, and he threw me out the window. Yes, it seems defenestration works on me as well as you. And now, happy children, I want you to picture in your mind a window. A beautiful window. It could be open, it could be closed. All depends on how you feel about things. Once then grabbing someone firmly by the groinal area and giving that person a good, solid, loving heave-ho right out the window. Sing with me, yeah? Just grab them by the crotch, once and throw them out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blow. Just grab them by the crotch, once and throw them out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. Grab them by the crotch and throw them out the window. Available wherever violent books are sold. There we are. Yes, we got to the part where we're talking about defenestration, and people come on and go, what the heck? And then, yes, welcome. We started late. We're going to go a little bit long, and I don't care. It is the 4th of July weekend. We are going to be... We're not going anywhere. We're staying the heck indoors, as you might want to do yourselves, fellow introverts. I am an introvert. I just need astonishing amounts of validation. Oh, I think it might actually be... we've still got time. And I certainly want to do more. And I feel like it's necessary that we do more. But I think for everyone here who was here for the entirety of Hasselhoff Ballad, and you do know sometimes I think about what's coming up in the song and then I just kind of lose my own dang mind. It's true. It happens. It happened there. I actually got to play Hasselhoff Ballad as a commercial for Oscar Hasselhoff's Adult School of Sword at the Sherwood Forest Festival 2 times, and it was great fun. I will tell you this, it's much harder to do that fully acoustic and unamplified in the great open forest where sound just goes out everywhere. And I'm trying very hard and maintain the accent. I now have a portable rig for amplification, which I think might be very useful for that kind of situation. I posted a video of that both on my Facebook feed and on YouTube, so if you want to check that out later on, you certainly can. Paid for in part by my startlingly generous patron peeps, and will be the plug for Patreon. It's not going to happen in the crawl that's going through right here. Of course, TROUBADORK is of course also supported by Unruly Voices Publishing, publishers of the Artisanal Gibberish books, Volume 1 and 2. Volume 3 is in the works, and we have talked my editor back down out of the tree, and she is now looking over those poems. So we will see what kind of progress we get on that as well. So, what do we want to do next? There are so many things. Oh, my friends. Oh, what do we want to do now? You know, yeah, I could do that. I haven't done it for a little bit. I will do another song. It's not on the list, but it's going to go on there anyway because I can do it. Why? Because no one can stop me. And this is a song by my friend, the mighty Quigley Finch. Sea Dog Extraordinaire, also been a member of Dogs and Doublets, and person responsible for an awful lot of their songs, including Thongar, which if you have not looked it up, it is worth listening to. It's weird, but it's worth listening to. Let me see here. Yes. Oh, the name of the ship on which we sail is a Jolly Roving Dog, and the crew be bold, the boatswain's old, and we all do love our grog. The captain was the toughest man whatever sailed the seas, until one thing finally struck him down was a nasty French disease. Oh, we sailed the briny oceans on the Jolly Roving Dog, and we will not rest upon our quest to find the captain's log. Oh, the captain finally met his match, old France, she finally won. The first mate sat beside him for the setting of the sun, and the last words of the captain to the good crew of the Dog was that none shall ever take his place till they find the captain's log. Oh, we sail the briny oceans on the Jolly Roving Dog, and we will not rest upon our quest to find the captain's log. So we searched down in the scuppers and we searched up in the nest. For a time we kept our spirits high with witty words and jests, but soon a gloom enveloped us thick as a pea soup fog. For no matter where we looked, we could not find the captain's log. Oh, we sailed the briny oceans on the Jolly Roving Dog, and we will not rest upon our quest to find the captain's log. So at last we took to the great big book that the captain brought to sea, in which he put each day's events as written a history. But no matter where we searched inside that vast and lofty tome, we could not find where the captain's log had chosen for to roam. Oh, we sail the briny oceans on the Jolly Roving Dog, and we will not rest upon our quest to find the captain's log. For the many logs that we did find, they all did look the same. But we never once found the piece of wood inscribed with the captain's name. Oh, we sail the briny oceans on the Jolly Roving Dog, and we will not rest upon our quest to find the captain's log. Yes, we sail the briny oceans on the Jolly Roving Dog, and we will not rest upon our quest to find the captain's log. I always like to end that one pretty, because you're all wincing because of the incredibly long Shaggy Dog story you have had to sit through to get to the end of that song. That is not the same way he does it. He said he has, with a certain chagrin, in his comment that he is discovering the drift that happens with all folk music, and it is true. He does the song differently. At this point, I have trouble getting all the way through the chorus. As you may have noticed, I'm running out of air at the end of it. But I'm also trying to project while doing this with a microphone. The microphone's over. There it is. But this is how folk music works. Someone sings a song and somebody else goes, "Oh, here you go." Like I fully expect Useless Magic Sword to sound completely different once other people are singing it. That's okay. I shall continue to write songs because I have no other real good way of coping with everything right now. And that's all right. We will continue to write music and we will continue to be silly and have fun with it. What am I going to do now? I have a number of songs that are actually angry songs and they're kind of political songs, and I'm not doing them very deliberately because I do not want to get trapped in a situation where I am just playing angry songs. We have enough angry going on right now. I'm really tempted to do like Fish Puncher before we get toward the end of the show, which will go a little bit over an hour, partially because it was late in starting, and partially because they can't stop me. Well, technically one person could stop me. Huh? She's not gonna stop me. That's love, is what that is. So why not? Oh yeah! Oh, fish punch the octopus. Punches fish. Fish punch the octopus. Punches fish. He wants to start a fight. Don't know how to do it right. Oh, fish punches the octopus. He punches. He punches. Fish punches the octopus. Punches fish. Fish punches the octopus. Into this. When he gets he has got a beak of vicious, get relief. Oh, fish punches the octopus. Punches. Punches. Fish punches the octopus. Punches fish. Fish punches the octopus. Useless. When he gets into a stew, he'll beat up oceanographers too. Fish punches the octopus. He punches. He punches. Fish punches the octopus. Punches fish. Fish punches the octopus. Future this. He wants to start a fight. He's got all night. Fish punches the octopus. He punches. He punches. Punches the octopus. He punches. He punches. Fish punches the octopus. He punches. He punches. Fish. Ow, my hands. We can do possums, yes. I think I am going to, however, do one very important thing. There is something I must do, and that is get a pick, and I'll explain why in a moment. Crash, thud, cat noise, plate wobble. As Matthew goes all the way over here, hunting for, yes, the savior of his cuticles. There we are. The leather pick. Let me tell you something. These leather picks are wonderful things. I have goofy hands, and as such, they will cramp up. And so holding a regular plectrum can be a challenge. And these things are thick enough that I can hold on to them without dying. They have this nice little cute little cutout here. And it allows me to do that. Because when I do the strumming that I was doing in Fish Puncher, See, like that, that's great. But if I do it with my fingers, I'm basically bashing the tops of my hands against these strings, and it eventually chews up my terribly delicate fingers there, my finger bones. Let's do that, yeah. You know what? I even have a thing here. Oh my gosh. I have not turned on any other videos because I didn't know what I had and what I didn't have. But I think it's Possums is a good one to do that one too. We'll do this is D. That's E. And this is of course dedicated to my friend Cameron, who told me one day that they did not feel they were in fact a human. They felt that they were in fact 3 possums in a trench coat stacked one on top of the other. And I thought that if 3 possums was funny, 6 possums would be hilarious. And then the incredibly talented and capable Mel White drew me a picture of 6 frickin' possums. And over the course of the year and a half that I did the live streaming shows, we named them all. Geraldine, from the top, Geraldine, Bob, or Roberto, they're twins. Then we have Sophia, Cameron, of course, Roberto or Bob, they're twins. And finally, George, a.k.a. Hatchback, that was named that after a possum that my friends Danica and Tina discovered in their kitchen. George has, in fact, gotten a job upstate, so he's fine. So, let's see. You know, one of the things I've discovered about this is it's been a month and I have not played a lot of my songs. And because I have not played a lot of my songs, I sometimes forget how they go. And you may have actually noticed me trying very hard to get into the groove. I've ran into that in a couple of places. And this is one of those situations where, like, I know how this works here. Let me see here. It goes. There we go. This is like one of the songs that kind of made me, so to speak. So, played at every Antho convention. And it is, honestly, based off of Mirror in the Bathroom by Public Image. Oh, sorry, English Beat. Always, yeah, do not ever confuse your post-punk, new wave English music groups. They get very touchy. Possums in a trench coat come to tea. Sit right at a table like you and me. Do they want another biscuit? Better give them 3, 'cause there's not really a guy with 6 possums in a trench coat. Possums in a trench coat, seek go to town. Got themselves a never couldn't flag it down. The driver wouldn't stop, no, he just kept on going 'cause he didn't want to drive 6 possums in a trench coat. I got the chords in here somewhere. Possums in a trench coat, see a show. Do you give them just one seat or the entire front row? Do the possums in the middle just peek out through the buttons? Man, I got so much questions for those possums in a trench coat. There we go. Bridge! Boing. Possums in a trench coat on a date. Got there 20 minutes early, couldn't stand to be late. Everything turned out too much better than expected, 'cause their days turned out to be 6 possums in a caftan. Am I going fast? I think I am. Possums in a trench coat. Possums in a trench coat. Possums in a trench coat. 6 possums in a caftan. I am out of practice, and I need to do those songs more because convention season is coming up. I need to be able to play those songs. Texas Furry Invasion is in August or September, and is actually going to be happening near home, which I have not really been to a convention near home, that convenient, since back in the days in California a long time ago, before any of you were ever born. when I could go to conventions I was living in Milpitas, and I could go to conventions in San Jose, and then I could go home at the end of the night. It was fantastic. It was amazing. Yeah, that was going faster. I am definitely out of practice. But thank you for bringing up that song, because it does remind me that I need to know how to do these dang songs consistently. I managed to go for the better part of a month not playing much music because I was overwhelmed with everything else that was going on. I'm much better now. If I had the money, honey, I'd strap you in beside me. Never ever leave you at home all alone and crying. A little Jimmy Buffett never hurts anyone. Thank you, possums. We'll see you later. Bye. I think, you know what? I think we do deserve some Jimmy Buffett. I will not be doing Come Monday, which is a Labor Day weekend show song, but I think that I will do I feel almost ambitious enough to pull this off. There are some songs that Jimmy Buffett does that sound an awful lot like Tin Pan Alley songs, which makes me think of Leon Redbone. Now, I cannot do Leon Redbone, but I can do Jimmy Buffett singing like Leon Redbone. And if that doesn't make sense to you, then this song will just be pretty. And will not be quite as amusing as it is to me. Moonlight and magnolia, starlight in your hair, all the world a dream come true. Did it really happen? Was I really there? Was I really there with you? 3, 4. We lived a little drama. We kissed on a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. We lived a little drama. We kissed in a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. And F and C and G, I never planned in my imagination a situation so heavenly, a fairyland that no one else could enter, and in the center just you and me. Dear, my heart beat like a hammer, my arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. A and D and if I had a trombone solo, that would go there. BK has a trombone, but he's in California. We lived a little drama. We kissed in a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. I can't forget Gee, I never planned in my imagination a situation so heavenly. A fairyland where no one else could enter, and in the center, just you and me. Dear, my heart beat like a hammer, my arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. It's another one of those songs that it took me a bit of a running start to get to, but once I got in there, it is just so pretty. And this is also one of my pet theories, that Jimmy Buffett composes a lot of his work on a ukulele. Probably not a tenor ukulele. Probably one of the little concert size, or maybe even the soprano, because it's small. It's very easy to throw chords together, and a lot of chord progressions make sense if you look at it that way. That beautiful, there's a beautiful run with E minor, D sharp minor, D minor. And that's fairly easy to do on a ukulele. On a guitar, I can only assume that there's an awful lot more actual finger work going on there. Oh, what do you think? 2 more songs or 1 more song? I'm thinking 2. I don't know what to do after that, though, because this is just so dang pretty. I'd almost have to do some kind of weird palate cleansing, goofy nut burger song, of which I have many, I will admit. Amy is currently listening in the other room, so I probably should not do Cheese Hinge because that would just get her slightly annoyed. It is the dumbest song that I have ever written. Not the stupidest, but definitely the dumbest, and there's a difference. She's reading. We have clearance. All right. The next song I'm going to do is going to be very dumb. So dumb, in fact, that it requires a visual aid. Once upon a time, somewhere out in the midst of the internet, I saw someone post a picture where they took a bunch of sliced cheese and arranged them in this format. This is not the first picture that I saw, by the way. I have seen many pictures of this nature. This is the one that I just happened to find when I knew I was going to try to throw together something to put up on the screen while I was playing the dumb song. Cheese Hinge is pretty dumb. So dumb, in fact, that it was one that I wrote during my kick of doing 1970s-ish songs. So I want you to imagine that this, and this is definitely a 1970s-ish song. This is a song you might imagine Neil Diamond performing, and not family-friendly, big poofy hair, turn on your heart light, E.T., Coming to America, Neil Diamond. No. We're talking mid-70s, double denim, on everything but a pogo stick, and give him 20 minutes if you can see if we can find a pogo stick, Neil Diamond. So I want you to imagine, if you will, that you're at a Neil Diamond concert. You are now 4 hours into a 2.5-hour concert. They have played everything on their catalog. And Surreal Neil suddenly busts this out. Cheese Hinge, it's like Stonehenge, but it's made of cheese. And it stood taller than the trees. Majestic in its pasteurized glory. Generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Erected by the ancient Welsh, you know they really couldn't help but tell. Towering spires of Wensleydale, their faith in engineering would prevail. Cheese Hinge, it's like Stonehenge, but it's made of cheese. The construction was quite a breeze, majestic in its passion and glory. Generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Who knows why they built this thing? If they turn cartwheels around it and sing, how does dairy stuff last so long? We'll just wonder about it in song. Cheese henge, it's the henge, but it's made of cheese, and it sways slightly in the breeze. Majestic in its passion and glory. Generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Standing in delicious awe, make a selfie to stand up my maw. In the woods by an ancient stream, you're gonna smell it before it is seen. Cheese henge, it's a henge, but it's made of cheese. If you're allergic, it'll make you sneeze. Majestic in its passion and glory. Generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Cheese henge, blackout, pyro. I have no special effects budget, but that's how it would go. That's the song. You turn the lights off and the crowd goes at the end of it. Again, the dumbest song I have ever written is Cheese Henge. That's setting the bar both pretty high and pretty low. And if anybody came in the middle of that and saw Ruth's last comment, Ruth was not saying she loved Cheese Henge. She loved something else entirely. So just relax and chill out, gang. Oh, and I've just managed to Urfle burfle. There we go. Trying to make the cheese go away. There we go. Yeah. I wonder frequently about streamers who do long streams like this, because I wonder. I haven't actually watched a lot of gaming streams. I'll be completely honest with you. I know a few people who do gaming streams, and they're absolutely, not that sick. Yes, Ruth. It's not sick. It's just goofy. There are some songs that are just goofy. They're derpy songs, and that was one of them. But I've often wondered about the folks who do this. And one of these days, assuming that I have the time and do not have any other scheduled things to interrupt me, I have seriously thought about trying to do a stream where I try to write a song with the people who are watching me helping for a given value of help. And I'm not that confident in my own abilities yet, but we'll see. But those folks out there who do lives 2, 3, 4 hour live streams, I am in awe of you. Any of you who stumble upon this feed as you wander through looking for some kind of content to play in the background while you're attempting to do something else productive, I am in awe of you. One, I can't game that way. My addictive nature is such that I have to be careful about stuff like that, because it can become very expensive and it can cost both time, money, and sanity. Which is why I dress up in funny clothing and play this thing in front of a bunch of people who really were not expecting to see it that day. So I think that's probably a good segue into what will be the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right, the last song of this live cast. I have been terrible about doing regular live casts in June. I think it might get better in July. I'm not 100% certain, but if it does, they will usually happen on Sundays, usually between starting around 2, somewhere between 2 and 3, and ending somewhere between 3 and 4. About an hour. Or a little more like what we're doing right now. I will try and keep everybody posted as to that. Before we get too far out, I want to thank Tim, Joe, Jen, Joe, Alexi, Austin, Chris, Teppo, Isaac, Linda, Ann, Stephen, Rob, Alicia, Relly, BK, Richard, Bree, and Lorene. My incredible patron peeps. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Ruth. I want to thank Reggie. I want to thank Ashley. I want to thank I'm going to say your name wrong. Katsarida. Soft eye, hard eye, can't tell. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me, because without y'all, this would be Vox Clamatis in Deserto, a voice crying out in the desert. Or possibly Vox Clamatis in Dessert Cart, which would be a man screaming into a sheet cake. I have come to terms with something. It's been something I've been accused of being. I'd say it was thrust upon me. I've been very resistant to it because I understand what the qualifications are in my mind, but after doing this for off and on for 3 or 4 years and pretty consistently for the last 3, I have come to grips with the fact that although I may not consider myself to be one of these, I have been on all those in favor of sheet cake. I come to terms with the fact that some people have this title thrust upon. Some people call themselves this immediately. Some people have this title thrust upon them. I've been drafted. Just because they say I write some songs, I might just be a bard. But writing songs is really fun. It's really not that hard. I call myself the Troubadork. That B word has me jarred. Because while I am not a bard, I've frequently been barred. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred! Hootenannies will not have me, nor will any open mic. I can play whatever song I please, but nowhere that I like. People want me to pay for my sins, but music should be free. And while I can play wherever I please, no place is pleased with me. I don't understand why. I mean, I'm very mainstream, aren't I? I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred! I may be a humble poetaster, a poet not so good. I just want my songs to come out right like any sane man would. But the people, when they hear my stuff, react with low regard, just because they say my music left them emotionally scarred. I'm just singing about ham and spam and cheese henge and defenestration. That's all good, family-friendly content, isn't it? I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. So my friends, you now all know my tale, take pity on my plight. Some of us just want to play our stuff and pray it comes out right. If you see your humble troubadour, please do not run away. As I stagger through this world, hoping for somewhere I can play. Like a bar, or an alehouse, or a music festival where people dress up in funny clothing and come to see a doofus like me, for the which I am extraordinarily grateful and more than a little concerned. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, oh yeah! I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, and I've been feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, oh. nothing barred. Olay! And so we come with all the enthusiasm, accuracy, and technique of a hyperactive 2-year-old Labrador Retriever on a freshly waxed kitchen floor up against a china cabinet that is the end of yet another Tobias the Adequate Troubadork show. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Whatever it is I do, you folks seem to like it, and I like the fact that you like it a lot. It is cool to hang out with y'all online if I cannot hang out with y'all in person. Barring a massive windfall, if you happen to know of anybody with lots of money and low standards, point them my way after you take your share, of course. I will do this off and on, theoretically every couple of weeks. If I am performing, I will tell you all where you can find me, and if I can manage to live stream a performance, I will. I have noticed that I have to do something a little more clever, because I've been using my phone as the camera, and when I do that with a live stream, it plays differently than if I do it with this computer here, or with my tablet, or something else. But that's alright, it's not like we know what we're doing anyway. Next show, absolutely positively for certain, will be Steampunk November, and that is the weekend of November 13th up in Mansfield, Texas. There are some other conventions and stuff that I have applied for, but I haven't heard from, because conventions are like that. They wait until almost the last possible minute. But because I'm doing conventions that are here, within an easy day job commute in San Antonio, Texas, I will let you know as soon as I find out. Thank you to my Patreon peeps. Thank you to Carpe Diem Comics, the official emotional support comic shop of the Troubadork Show and all things Tobias the Adequate. Thank you to Unruly Voices for publishing my 2 volumes, soon to be 3, with the inevitable anthology of Artisanal Gibberish. You can find them, of course, at unrulyvoices.com. You can go to theadequate.com for all your adequacy needs, troubadourk.com to get specifically into the Troubadorkery stuff. This show may actually be showing live on that page right now. I can't tell. I don't know. I'll have to check at some point. You definitely can see the show after it runs, because I will put it on the playlist for that show. And I actually have a Troubadork playlist and a Troubadork shows playlist, which is of recorded shows that I have done. I'm trying to get more recorded shows, and there is some noise that I might have been recorded during Sherwood. A particularly good show, I might add, which is part of Sherwood's virtual fair event, which is running for 20-something weeks. They started with Volgamut, and if they end with me, I will be extraordinarily amused, because they're going to start with the best, and then with whatever this idiot is doing over here. Yes, commute dork. Exactly. But that's enough out of me. Folks, thank you for hanging out with me. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. We can get through this, what's happening right now, if we support each other and we don't give in to despair. Despair is what they want. Despair is what the people who want power over you want you to feel. They want you to feel helpless. They want you to feel like you can't do anything. But let me tell you this right now. Every single thing you do to improve your life and to improve the lives of others around you screws with them badly. Because it means that they can't control you. And that ticks them off a lot. The revolution will be asymmetrical. And it's being asymmetrical right the frickin' now. So, y'all hang in there, okay? You know where to find me. I'm here. I'm stupidly ubiquitous. It's okay, Rob. It'll come back through. It's an hour and a half too, so you got a lot to catch up on. I played a lot of good songs, and I played several dumb songs, and that's okay. Y'all have been marvelous. I continue to be Tobias the Adequate. Thank you once again for encouraging my behavior.